Hey Buddha family. So today I'm going to show you a behind the scenes look at how I order and decide what I'm going to grow for the following year. This is one of my favorite times of year. It's so exciting to look through the new catalog, kind of plan out what worked, what didn't work, but there's a lot that goes into this. So let me bring you in. I'm going to show you how I go about doing it, and I'll show you all the intricacies and things that we really have to think about with dates and logistics. It's not as easy as just ordering what looks good. So let's go. So the first step in ordering for the previous year is going through the new catalog and flagging any new flowers or plants that I want to try growing this year. And that way I don't lose track of them. And when it comes time to filling out the order form, I can simply flip right to the tab and see which plant that I wanted to try ordering this year. The second thing we need to do is check out last year's order summary. They send you it, and that way you know when things were shipped. Sometimes they were shipped too close together if I got multiple orders in. Sometimes they were too early, too late, they didn't get big enough. So this allows me to cross-reference last year and adjust the dates for anything I may regrow this year. When you're ordering, they're broken down into weeks. So January 1st to the 4th is week 1. The next week, January 5th to the 11th is week 2. January 12th to the 18th is week 3, and so on and so forth. And this is how you decide when you want your order shipped. You don't pick an actual day, you pick the week number, and that's when the company will ship it to you. Once we have that done, here we have our order form, and we'll go through the order form and mark down all the weeks that I chose to get shipped. So here you can see I chose week 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, and 18. And I do have a few more weeks, but this is just for annuals. So these are the weeks that I am getting things shipped to me. And now everything that I want to order has to fall into one of these weeks. And that way I can save on shipping. Another thing that we have to take into account when we're growing is what the plant is going in. So here, for example, is Portulaca Sea Glass Double Guava. You can see I have 2 boxes labeled. Well, one box is the first week, week 10. And that's because those are going to go into hanging baskets. And hanging baskets are bigger 12-inch containers. They need a few more weeks than a smaller container to get nice and big and full, so that when you see it, you're going to want to buy it. But I also chose to grow that double sea glass guava in a 4-inch container for those people that didn't want a hanger and just want to plug it into a mix of their own. And in that case, a 4-inch container is going to take much shorter to grow out for you to buy. So I actually get that same plant shipped twice. 1 week 10, then for the 4-inch, I don't have it shipped till week 13, 3 weeks later. And that way, they'll be both at the correct size around early to mid-May when you'll want to buy it. I'll make different notes down here. So here you can see that these two are going to be mixed together. I'm going to mix a double magenta and the guava together in a nice combo hanging basket. But down here, I have a watermelon punch sea glass Portulaca, which is super cool, but I just didn't find that the colors went well with other things. So here you can see my note that it's going to be in a hanging basket, but it's just going to be by itself. Things like that we really need to take into consideration and make good notes so that when all these plugs start rolling in next year, I'm not panicking and trying to remember how I wanted to plant them. I can just refer to this order form. I'm like, oh yeah, these two are supposed to go together. This one's supposed to go alone. Another thing we have to take into consideration is the size of the plug. So here you can see tray sizes. This 26 strip means you're getting 26 plants in a 20 by 10 strip. But you can come down all the way down here and you'll see 512 plants, almost the same size. And what that means is if I flip over, the 26th plug, as you can see, is huge. And then down here, the 512 is very small. So if you're a big grower or growing a lot of things, sometimes you'll order the smaller ones to save on money. but it does take a lot longer to grow. I'm not a huge grower. I have one greenhouse, so predominantly I'm ordering the bigger plugs, a 51 or a 26. And that way I don't have to heat and grow these things all the way from February. I can get them later in April or late March, and they're big enough that in a month to 8 weeks, you will have a beautiful plant. So just to go over, we have different plant sizes. They come in different plant trays. Another thing we have to factor in when we're ordering to make things even a little bit more logistically challenging is I grow a lot of house plants. Well, I don't want all my house plants coming with my annuals. There's different seasons. So for me, the summer, spring and summer is mostly annuals. Then the fall and winter is a lot of house plants. So I need additional weeks. So here you can see for the foliage, which are my house plants, I'm getting some in week 3, which is January. And refer to this chart. I'm getting them shipped January 12th to the 18th. And then I'm going to do a second planting about week 30. I think they only ship to week 27. But if we go down here, my second planting of house plants will be that end of June, beginning of July month. So the first January plantings will be for early March and April sales. And then the second, the late summer planting, will be for that upcoming winter sales. So I grow houseplants and a lot of annuals, and they are ordered at 2 separate times. They are delivered at 2 separate times, but we have to order them all right now so that we get the discounts, and then the grower can lock in our order and grow those items specifically for us, and we're not panicking in the spring trying to find things to order. We have our drop-in subs. We want to make sure whatever plants are dropped, if we were going to order them, the recommended sub, and we'll go to the catalog and double check that it meets what we're looking for. So to go over, we have last season's order form, and that way we can double check and cross-reference the dates and how things worked out as far as growing times. We have our weeks of the year, which we then need to add to our order form and decide which weeks things are shipping. Lastly, we have our sizes. Do we want big plugs? Do we want medium plugs? Do we want small plugs? Lastly, we write down exactly what we plan to use that for when it's fresh in our mind. And that way, next spring, we won't have to rethink this or try to remember. We'll refer to this sheet and I'll know exactly how to plant everything as soon as it comes in. Planning helps out so much when you're ordering your plugs. It allows us to get the best ones because now I can go through and I know exactly what I want and I'm locking it down. If you try to order these same things next year, they're probably already sold out or they might not have enough room to grow them for you. I hope you enjoyed the little tutorial on what goes into ordering for the previous year. If you have any questions, let me know. And pretty soon I'll be putting up all the pictures and the combos so you can kind of see what I'll have available for the following year and get ahead on planning of your own. So thanks for watching. We'll see you around.